Hello, everybody, and welcome back
to the McDonCast,
the funnest podcast in town. Sam,
the
we're
only
back.
podcast around.
We continue to be the number one podcast in.
Why you do the intro so slow?
I don't think I'm doing it slow. I think I might just be slightly delayed.
No, you were like, hello. Like you did it way longer than normal.
I feel I did it the normal length of time I take up when doing the intro. And if you have a complaint, you can file it with my
it was
attorney.
definitely longer.
You can't prove that.
I started watching Severance.
Speaking you did?
Filing complaints.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm on episode 3.
Okay.
Now you have to watch Attack on Titan.
Never doing that. Never in a million years. Nope.
That's the rule.
Not gonna happen. Severance is like
you just made that promise just now.
Like 13 episodes. Attack on Titan is like 60 something, right?
Yeah, but every Severance episode is 3 times longer.
They're all like 40 minutes.
No, the first one's an hour, and the second one's also an hour, and the third one's like 55 minutes.
The finale of one is only like 35 or something.
Well,
streaming shows have weird run times. What do you think? What do you think of Severance? They're in the middle of season 2 right now.
Pretty
it's getting
good
crazy.
So far. I'm on the episode where his friend passes out at the gas station and goes to the hospital.
Oh, okay. You're still with the PD stuff. That's a really good. That show gets better as it goes, and then season 2 is
well. As soon as they were like, "Oh yeah, we quarantine off data and put it in a box," I was like, "Oh, they're definitely genociding somebody."
We still don't know exactly what they're doing, but it involves some weird stuff, including goats. There's some part of it involves a lot of goats for some reason.
Somebody is definitely getting genocided. That's all I'm gonna say. Anytime you're putting little scary doodles in a box, something's dying.
Well, someone's dead. Already dead.
Let me give you guys a brief rundown of today's episode. We've got another Pharrell Williams movie, or do we? We've got more Emilia Perez updates, or do we? We got more Warner Brothers Games updates, or do we? We got a bunch of movies.
We do have Warner Brothers Games updates. That one is in question. We have
Super Bowl trailers. Those ones did happen.
Some of them. Most of them happened before the Super Bowl, or they aired new 30-second spots in the Super Bowl that were footage that we'd all already seen before.
But let's talk about the non-Lego Pharrell Williams biopic movie.
Yeah, Sam. Well, I know you love movies getting scrapped.
That's my favorite thing is when movies get scrapped. I'm always saying, no, I hope a movie gets scrapped today.
Yeah.
All my friends know I say that. That's my famous catchphrase.
Yeah, well, Golden, which was a movie being made by Universal, producers Gil Netter and Pharrell Williams, as well as director Michel Gondry, who made Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, they agreed to scrap the film after principal photography was completed and post-production had just begun. Filmmakers are saying the decision was...
So they filmed the whole movie?
They filmed the entire thing. Filmmakers said the decision was mutual after they reviewed the footage, and they decided that it failed to live up to its original conceit. The film was set to star Kelvin Harrison Jr., Halle Bailey, Divine Joy Randolph, Brian Tyree Henry, Janelle Monáe, Quinta Brunson, Missy Elliott, and more. Gondry and Williams put out a statement saying, "When all of us got into the editing room, we collectively decided there wasn't a path forward to tell the version of this story that we originally envisioned. We appreciate all the hard work of the talented cast and crew. While we're disappointed we can't deliver this film, we have incredible partners at Universal and will collaborate in a different capacity again soon." This was a semi-autobiographical movie about like the area of town that Pharrell Williams grew up in. The premise was very unclear from the stuff I saw about it. We hadn't had any footage from it released, just like one still. It was set in 1977. It was supposed to be a musical. This was the second semi-autobiographical Pharrell Williams movie in a year because there was that Lego one.
Well, the first one was completely autobiographical.
Yeah, but it was Legos.
It was just also Legos.
Yeah. Apparently,
And it canonized Crips in the Lego cinematic universe.
were they in that movie? Did someone
Yes.
do a Lego Crip walk?
I don't know, but well, actually in Fortnite, yeah, all the time.
You can Lego Crip walk in Fortnite.
Well, because all the emotes that they released after the Lego update have Lego counterparts. And since they also have the Lego mode and the Crip Walk emote, which, by the way, there's a Crip Walk emote in Fortnite. Since that emote exists and you can play Lego Fortnite, yes, you can Crip Walk in Lego Fortnite, which means Legos can Crip Walk. That's canon to Legos.
Did you see they're adding Dom Toretto to Fortnite?
I did see that.
Are you excited?
Kilo actually made a whole edit of here, I'll send it to you
Are you gonna buy
in a minute.
Dom Toretto with your V-Bucks? A sentence that I'm pretty sure just damned
Probably
me to hell when
not.
I said it.
Probably not gonna do that, but yeah, no, I'm just not gonna do that.
Yeah, so apparently
I'm not that big of a Fast and Furious fan.
So this was a Universal movie. They very much, their Pharrell Williams relationship is very important to the studio because he does all of the music he makes a lot of music for the Despicable Me movies, which is like a whole big part.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does a lot of stuff for Illumination, even just beyond that. And apparently they didn't want to damage that reputation by the film bombing or getting bad reviews, which makes sense. I feel like they had spent apparently $20 million on it up to this point, and apparently everyone who had worked on it had gotten paid. So that's good. I mean, it's unfortunate whenever a movie starts production and doesn't end up being completed, but this does seem like something that the filmmakers themselves wanted to do, and less so like a studio wanted a tax break.
It's not like a tax write-off situation. It seems like the movie just wasn't doing what they wanted to do, and they just didn't see a way to make it work.
Conceivably, you'd like to get to this movie won't work idea. Like you want to get to that in like the scripting portion, not in the like we spent months
but I
filming
guess
this
sometimes
thing.
you have to film a whole movie to get there. I guess I don't know.
I feel like I don't really know how you film the entire thing and then decide and not edit it and then decide it's bad. Like I feel like if you put it together, maybe they had a rough cut, but apparently it was like super early on in post-production. So I don't even know if there's like a work print, because I feel like you'd have to get to a point to where you'd be able to watch enough of it as like an actual movie before you could just say this doesn't work and scrap it. But what do I know?
They must have done like an edit and then been like,
there must have been like a rough cut, just like an assembly cut of just all the stuff like in chronological order.
And they were like, yeah, it's unfortunately it's Jover. Yeah, it's not going to work out.
Did you see I think it was Will Forte out this week? He was just like, I hope someone leaks Coyote v Acme. I hope someone breaks into Warner Brothers and just leaks that movie.
I did see a screenshot leaked on Twitter.
Yeah, occasionally images from
John
it
Cena strangling Tweety Bird, but that's all I saw.
Occasion images from
that movie's got to get leaked someday.
It's got to, right?
I kind of want to see that movie.
I wonder what like the legality is behind, like, are they even able to release it even if they wanted to at this point?
Do they even own it?
I don't know if they own it. Like, does the government own it?
If someone leaked it, would it be illegal?
It would have to be, right?
I mean, I don't know. Do they own it or not?
I guess they own. I guess probably just because it's the IP, they own the IP.
But as long as you're not making any money, then it should be fine, right?
Maybe, but I don't know. Well, it's like I don't know how. Obviously, piracy in itself is illegal. So to leak it and then,
but can you pirate something no one owns? Like if I were to pirate Steamboat Willie, I can't even do that, can I? Like that's in the public domain.
Because that's not piracy. Because that's that whole short film's the public domain.
That's what I'm saying. Like who owns this? Where is it? Whose is it?
David Zaslav?
Is it just
he's probably just locked up in his basement somewhere? No, because I think they were supposed to.
Anything else with this movie?
No.
Or is this movie done?
No, we were done with this. If you want to move on, but I'm pretty sure like.
Yeah.
I had a thought, but you interrupted me, and now it's vanished from my brain.
Oh well, guess we have to talk about Emilia Perez now.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it enough last week, so I thought we'd talk about
We need to
Emilia
go in
Perez.
even greater
This
depth
movie,
about this spectacular crash out.
this movie we still haven't seen, neither one of us.
Mm. I don't really plan to watch it.
I think we need to, though. I feel like we should. I feel
I
like
feel like we need to get
we'd have
everyone.
fun.
We need to get everyone together to
No,
watch it.
I don't want to watch this alone. That's just sad.
Yeah, we got to get the crew together.
We got to get the crew together. We got to watch them. Anyway,
Netflix.
So Netflix
has said that they are no longer in contact with Carla Sofia Gascon. They are not going to help her pay for her travel to any of the award shows, and she must pay out of pocket. The Fab Five format will not return to the Oscars presentation. This is Cillian Murphy, Emma Stone, Divine will present the acting awards. A bunch of different people.
So the reasoning was the normal thing the Oscars do is last year's Best Actor and Supporting Actor and Actress and Supporting Actress winners will announce the new winners for the corresponding category the next year. So the Best Actress announces the Best Actor winner this year.
Right.
A few years ago, I think it might have been 2 or 3 years ago, they switched it up to where they had like 5 previous winners come off and each gave like a little spiel about one of the nominees, and then they announced a winner. They were going to do that again this year, but my guess is no one wanted to read off the little spiel about how great Carla Sofia Gascon is. So they just scrapped that whole thing and went back to the old format, which you can't really blame them for.
I would not want to do that either.
But the Carla Sofia Gascon, so Netflix is no longer talking to her. They're not going to pay for her to fly out to the Oscars or the PGAs or the SAG Awards or anything like that. If she wants to come, she has to pay out of pocket. This past weekend, the DGA and PGA Awards and the Critics' Choice all happened. She wasn't at any of those.
Can you even pay to go to the Oscars? Is that even a thing?
Well, yeah, she because she's invited, so she has like a reserved spot.
So she just has to pay
but
for the
Netflix
ticket
isn't
going to
pay for like her airfare or any of her travel expenses, like they would for like Zoe Saldana.
I feel like that would still be. I feel like that would still be doable.
I'd say she's probably going to show up to the Oscars if she could afford it.
A plane ticket, like, that's expensive, but like,
I doubt they would show her
to the Oscars. I feel like you would do it.
I doubt they would show her.
And like
on
a hotel
the TV
would
broadcast,
be expensive.
But
like you don't have to stay at a nice
there.
hotel. You could stay at like a crappy hotel and still make it.
Well, Carla Sofia Gascon does not seem like a person who wants to hang out with the lower class. Just
Possible.
Based on
maybe she'll stay in an Airbnb. I don't know. Anyway,
and then the Academy is also considering making movies disclose AI usage going forward after the whole controversy around The Brutalist and Emilia Perez having some AI assisted
what happened
stuff.
with The Brutalist? They like some of the designs for the blueprints or something were like AI generated or something.
At the end of the movie, there is like a video montage that plays in the background of a scene of what are supposed to be various designs that the main character made over the years. And it is intentionally
right.
And the scene takes place in I believe 1980, and it's supposed to look like a crappy video montage of like poor digital renderings. So some of those building designs just from that background scroll wheel were generated with AI and then redrawn by the art team of the movie. And then also some of the dialogue spoken in Hungarian by Felicity Jones and Adrian Brody, they used an AI program to like redo and correct some of the pronunciation on them.
I feel like those are fine.
Yeah, people flipped out. People just flip out whenever they hear AI anything, which I am not a person who likes or supports
like
AI.
I mean the
were you
like the use of AI to like do the like montage? Like, yeah, you could have had them just like make some designs. That's probably not necessary. But like when it comes to correcting pronunciations, like we've been doing, how is that different than autotune at this point? Like
So the program
That's very normal to do in post.
the
Like, what are
program
we
they
even
used was
getting
called
mad about?
Respeecher, and it's been being used
Yeah,
for
that's the same one
like
that that's that's Darth Vader, right?
it's been being used for years at this point. I
Yeah.
think since even like 2019. So before like even ChatGPT blew up and like everyone got on
Before AI
AI.
became a big thing.
It's been being used for a while, and then the thing also with that was they had gone in and tried to even like overdub the audio with Hungarian actors or like correct it in other ways, and it didn't work as well. So the AI usage was like a last resort. So it's not even like they went straight to the AI and started like generating original dialogue. It was they were just using it to
No,
correct
and again,
pre-existing performances.
yeah, it's not like anyone's losing out. It's not like the
No
actors
one
are
lost
getting
a
like,
job because of it.
yeah, like I feel like that's very. I mean, the actors maybe lost what like an hour of pay because they like.
But they had
And
gone in and
actors are not
recorded the
usually billed
dialogue
by the
anyway.
hour, are they? So like, I don't even think that's a thing.
Well, they had gone in and already like done all the voiceover recording of the dialogue anyway. So it was all just post-production work that would have been done regardless. It was a really dumb controversy. People just saw
Yeah.
AI and freaked out. It was also used in Emilia Perez, but Emilia Perez is too
Yeah,
busy
it
being
was for similar stuff. It was like to correct pronunciations and stuff,
it was
right?
too busy being scolded by everyone else for other reasons, so they just ignored that. But yeah, what do you
Yeah.
think of? So the idea would be that you'd have to disclose to the Academy beforehand that your movie was made with AI stuff in it, and that would just like be labeled when they send it out to the voting base.
I feel like that's probably a good thing to have. Like just for perpetuity's sake. I don't know that it necessarily applies to this Oscars very much. I think it also there's a debate to be had over what even is AI.
Yeah.
Like in this context, like is Respeecher even generative AI or like I mean, obviously I think something like Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan show, I think that was done by
Yeah, that
like
was
a robot, right?
that was
I don't
just
think
all AI. Like that wasn't a human being.
yeah,
Like that was
like
just straight up
something
an
like
AI
that
voice.
where the whole performance is AI, that I get. But like when you're correcting pronunciations and stuff like that, I don't know. I think the Brutalist you have more of a case because it was actually like used to create content that is in the movie, or even like as a foundation for some content that was in the movie or whatever. You know what? Actually, no. I'm all for it. Screw it. Go for it because I want to know how many scripts are just ChatGPT.
I don't think anything that would be nominated at the Academy Awards would be ChatGPT. I think
Oh,
if,
you don't think ChatGPT could spit out Emilia Perez if you said make a movie where it's Mrs. Doubtfire but it's a Mexican drug lord? You don't think it would spit that out?
no, I don't think it would spit out Emilia Perez. I think if once ChatGPT is being used to write screenplays, I think it's going to be used to make like Transformers 9, Sonic the Hedgehog 7, The Lion King,
Nothing that matters.
Mufasa 3, like stuff like that. Like just garbage that no one wants and no one wants to work on. And so they just make it on the cheap. That's what I think AI is going to be used for at first for screenplays. And then the other Academy Awards news this week was that Anora won Best Picture at the Producers Guild, Directors Guild, and Critics' Choice Awards. So the general consensus is that is now the new Best Picture frontrunner, overtaking
one.
Emilia Perez, which was the frontrunner until it imploded. I would be fine with that winning Best Picture.
I still have to watch it, or I don't know if it's good or not. But
I don't know. It's good.
It has a better
It's
track
fun.
record than Emilia Perez.
That's a
for
fun
sure.
movie. If you like a lot of naked strippers running around, you'll love it.
Interesting. Okay. What is going on with a Warner Brothers game?
Oh, Sam, there's so much going on with Warner Brothers games. So
Is there, or is there actually not enough going on?
Well, we'll get into it. Bloomberg put out a very lengthy article detailing what is a very rough situation over at WB Games. So last year, the company took a $200 million write-down on Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League after its pitiful failure, only to take another $100 million write-down later on in the year for Harry Potter Quidditch Champions and Multiverses, which were both
Okay, hold up.
failures.
Hold up.
Uh-huh.
You're telling me
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter Quidditch Champions wasn't a big hit? That game that was announced in like a 5-second bumper at a Nintendo Direct no one cared about isn't doing numbers?
So the part of the article was a quote from David Zaslav, Warner Brothers CEO, and he was like, "Well, the lesson we learned from that game
Zaslav.
was we couldn't just slap the Harry Potter IP on something and have it sell well." He was like, "That's the lesson we learned."
You can't just put name on thing and it sells good.
Which is a wild statement.
What?
Which is a even more wild statement to make, because I don't know if you even remember at this point, but there was a brand new Wizarding World Harry Potter movie like 3 years ago that just absolutely tanked at the box office. So you'd think they would have already learned this lesson when that came out, but no, apparently Quidditch Champions needed to fail for them to figure this out.
No, because here's what happened. They did learn their lesson for like a couple years, right? They made Hogwarts Legacy, which was, as far as I understand, a pretty good game.
Yeah, we'll
right?
talk about
it made
that
a lot
later.
of money.
Or next up.
And then they were like, oh, we can just put the name on there and it sells good. And then so they thought that that's how it worked, even though that's actually not why Hogwarts Legacy sold good. And then they released this and it sold really bad. That's what happened.
Yeah, the other part of this is that multiverse was a big failure. My guess is they had to have spent more on multiverses than they did on Quidditch Champions, right? Like, that has to be most of the write-down because of multiverses.
So are you familiar with what happened with multiverses?
Yes, I'm aware they announced it's shutting down in May, and then they put out a patch that fixed the entire game and made it fun.
Well, so here was what happened.
Uh-huh.
So you probably remember when the beta first came out, right?
Yeah,
Everyone
I
was like
played it
really
for,
hyped
like, a
about it.
week.
It was, yeah, it was pretty fun, right? It was no Smash Bros, but for your friends who don't have Nintendo consoles, it was pretty fun, right?
Especially because it was free.
And then the beta kind of lost its steam, and then so they ended the beta, and then they released the full game a few months later. The full game, they slowed down the combat immensely to the point where it was basically playing the original game, but in like 0.5 speed, where you're like,
People
right,
famously love very slow fighting games.
yeah. So everyone hated that. The game came out to absolutely no noise. It just kind of farted into the wind and disappeared. And then as they were shutting the game down, they were like, oh, by the way, we fixed it, and now the game is regular speed again. Anyway, bye-bye. Here's Raven or something, and then that was it.
What are you talking about, Sam? This is an all-star cast of characters.
And if I recall, I think we actually got a full list of all of the characters that were completed, set to be released for the game. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the characters that are in the game, and let me just say, this is an all-star lineup, Sam. We got Black Adam, Arya Stark, who is for some reason the only Game of Thrones character in the game. Banana Guard from Adventure Time. LeBron James, famous Warner Brothers character, LeBron James. Marvin the Martian. The Powerpuff Girls. Velma.
Right.
Velma and Shaggy are in the game. Is Scooby-Doo in the game?
So let me
Scooby-Doo
hit
is
you with
not
some of the
in
characters
the
they
game.
were going to add.
Sam, Scooby-Doo from the Scooby-Doo franchise is not in the game.
Oh yeah, of course. Why would you want Scooby-Doo?
Why would you want
in
Scooby-Doo?
The game was no. So we had Marceline from Adventure Time, Gandalf from Lord of the Rings,
Sure.
Legolas from Lord of the Rings,
Boring, but sure.
Harry Potter. Seems like an
How was
obvious
he
one.
not in the game already?
Probably should have been in the game. Ron Weasley as well. I mean, sure.
Why was Harry
Um,
Potter not in the game?
Fred Flintstone?
All right,
Okay.
sure.
Johnny Bravo. I don't think that
Fine.
one's selling any copies.
But also, like, he
Mad
sells more.
Max.
Awesome.
Again, I feel like that's a
would've
pretty
been
big one
cool.
to put in there. Ben 10. I would have
That's
liked that.
cool.
I don't think anyone else cares about Ben 10, but I would have liked that.
No, we're Ben 10
Godzilla.
boys. That would've been
Godzilla
fun.
seems like another really obvious one to include.
Yeah, but,
as well as King Kong. King Kong is also on this list.
okay, but you got to think like who's priority: Godzilla, King Kong, or Lola Bunny from Looney Tunes,
Of course. We had Neo from The Matrix.
who was for some reason second after Agent Smith on the list of characters they should have.
Exactly. What are we doing? Guys, what are we doing?
Should
Scorpion from Mortal Kombat,
should we
as
put
well as
Batman
Sub-Zero.
in the game or Mr. Freeze first?
We had Scorpion and Sub-Zero,
Yep.
which I didn't know video game collabs were on the table, but
Well,
sure.
because those are Warner Brothers. Mortal Kombat's owned by
Yeah.
Warner Brothers.
Emmett from the Lego Movie.
Oh, that'd been fun.
Again, that seems like a pretty big one.
I didn't even know they could
Lego
do that.
Movie's a big movie. Static Shock. Okay, that one I kind of he's never really
Too
been
much
a
DC.
heavy hitter. Poison Ivy.
Too much
That
DC.
one's probably just because the skins are going to sell well.
Yep.
Craig of the Creek.
Okay, running out of gas
Okay, sure. The Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz.
now.
Probably
Sure,
not
probably should have done that.
super important, but in hindsight would have been
Probably should
very
have done that in
important.
November. Yeah.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Why
That seems obvious.
Why did they? All right. What? Okay.
Daffy freaking Duck.
Yeah, for some reason Daffy was after Marvin the Martian on the Looney Tunes character
What are we?
roster.
He's the other guy.
Okay, I get
He's
it.
the big dude.
On one level, I get it as in like, you want to save some cool guys for like new content.
That's
as
like
the months come
including
out.
Pluto the dog and not Donald Duck.
Well, they got Rain Dog.
Oh, good. Rain Dog. That's great. Yeah, good. I'm glad they had that. And then the other two are Mr. Meeseeks from Rick and Morty. I don't think that matters a lot. And Aquaman from DC.
Who I think is in the game, who is or going to be added to the game.
Yeah, these are all characters who were supposed to be added.
Aquaman and Lola Bunny are going to be the last new characters.
Yeah, so these, there were also some
put
fighters
Jason
that were
Voorhees
found in the
in?
game's code, under code names.
Uh-huh.
Some of those include Naruto, Wreck-It Ralph, and
Hmm.
Fix-It Felix, as well as the Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
Those are interesting. Some what this article is saying is that those may have been placeholder names for characters that were going to be added later.
That makes there's because they couldn't have put those guys in.
Exactly, yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, very interesting.
Anyway, we got to keep going with this Warner Brothers Games article. So, the company had expected that lineup, so Quidditch Champions, Multiverses, and Suicide Squad, to generate revenue throughout this year and like make up for the fact that they don't have anything for this year. The only stuff they have coming in 2025 is more Hogwarts Legacy content and a new Lego game. And that's it. And Lego is like a yearly franchise, so you had that no matter what.
What Lego game are we doing?
I don't know. I think last year it was Lego Horizons or Lego Horizon.
That's not real. When was the last? Is Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga? Is that the last real Lego game we got?
I think we're due for a new Lego Marvel game at this point.
Yeah, and we could do the Infinity Saga.
I think it would probably be another like just a Lego Marvel superheroes.
Because they did Avengers and they did Age of Ultron. Those were like
They
specific
did
games.
Marvel superheroes, which was like an original story with like all of the characters in it.
Yeah.
And then they did Avengers, which was the first two Avengers movies, and then they did Marvel Superheroes 2, which was most of the characters
That's
minus
right.
the X-Men. So my guess is if they were going to do a new one, they'd probably just do Marvel Superheroes 3 and bring the X-Men back in. But what do I know?
Did Skywalker Saga, did that perform well? I
Skywalker
assume
Saga
it
sold
did.
very well, yes.
Then I think they will do Infinity Saga.
But you also got to keep in mind Infinity Saga is like 20-something movies, and Skywalker Saga was 9. So I don't know if you could do that all in one game.
Yeah, but you can do like each level is one movie.
Yeah, I guess, but that'd be a lot to cram in. I don't know. I wouldn't play it either way. I'm not 7. According to interviews with 24 current and former Warner Brothers employees, a lack of strong, cohesive vision during Haddad's, who is the former head of the company, who was just fired in January, reign, a tumultuous period in which Warner Brothers struggled through multiple reorganizations, led to years of ineffectual trend chasing and wasted development time. Along the way, once revered studios under the Warner Bros. Umbrella have taken reputational hits, while its key staff members and burned through hundreds of millions of dollars. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav says the company will slow down the number of games it makes, focusing on just a few franchises. And then Bloomberg gave...
They've only ever made like 4 games.
They made Batman, Mortal Kombat.
No, but I mean like
Harry
that where
Potter?
like David Zaslav was like it all involved.
Oh, you mean like since he took over?
Yeah, it's Legacy, Quidditch Champions, Multiverses, and Horizon Lego game.
They made
That's it.
Suicide Squad. They made
Oh, and Suicide Squad.
Gotham
Okay, yeah,
Knights.
So 5. Another banger, another heavy hitter, another grand slammer.
Yeah, so Bloomberg
I
gave
forgot that game existed.
individual updates on where each of Warner Brothers studios stands. So Monolith, after developing Shadow of Mordor and its sequel, the studio spent 3 years working on a brand new IP that would implement elements of the Nemesis system from the Middle-earth series. Warner execs repeatedly insisted that the studio tack on a pre-existing IP to the project and was unwilling to spend money on an original property, and the project was ultimately scrapped.
Actually, can we just can we blow up Warner Brothers games so that other companies can use the Nemesis system?
Before most of the creative leads quit the company and the remaining employees were sent to work on Wonder Woman, which is struggling to come along.
Is that a game?
Yeah, so I don't know if you remember, they announced this game with a reveal trailer at the Game Awards in like 2021. So it's been like 3 years since they announced this Wonder Woman game. Apparently, they restarted from scratch on it early last year and switched directors. They've apparently spent $100 million on the game already, and it is years away from release if it ever actually comes out.
This is part of the never going to exist cinematic universe.
I would really like to play a Wonder Woman game. That sounds really cool. There's a lot you could do with that.
Or does it sound actually like a Superman game, but with Wonder Woman?
No, because Wonder Woman, you get like the action adventure combat stuff, because you get like the sword, the shield. You could work the lasso in, and then you get like the aerial. You could get aerial combat in. You could get like flight stuff with the invisible jet.
But with Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I mean, you could do, and then you get like the whole Greek pantheon of gods.
No, just do God of War.
Mythical characters to do, and you could,
just copy exactly God of War.
There's a lot of stuff, cool stuff you could do with a Wonder Woman game, but it's probably never gonna get made. And then Warner Brothers Montreal,
like the Flash game that supposedly maybe exists.
Well, we're about to talk about it, Sam. Warner Brothers Montreal received a directive from leadership at WG Games to start production on a new live service IP game in late 2016. So before even Fortnite blew up, they got a directive from Warner Brothers Games to work on a cool new live service game. That game was eventually produced as Gotham Knights 6 years later in 2022. But at that point, the live service components had been stripped out of the game. And it released to tepid reviews, to say the least.
So I wonder if Gotham Knights was originally supposed to be an Overwatch clone.
I think the idea... I don't know if... Because Gotham Knights is
Because that was really the only big live service game at the time.
It is in 2016? Yeah, my guess... That would have been
the same year Overwatch came out.
That would have been the main one, but...
Yeah.
By the time they got in development, like for real, would have been like 2018, 2019. So that would have been like post Fortnite explosion. So at that point, they were probably trying to riff more on Fortnite.
Yeah.
But that game released to not great reviews and not great sales. Montreal tried to get approval to work on a revamped version of the game that they were internally calling Gotham Knights 1.5. They were aiming to fix a lot of the criticisms pointed at the base project, but Studio Brash didn't approve it. They just told them to dump the game and move on.
You're no cyberpunk.
Warner Brothers.
You're no cyberpunk, buddy.
Warner Brothers then asked the studio to come up with another pitch for a new game, with the team ultimately pitching a game focused on John Constantine from DC Comics. Internal excitement was met with the higher-ups dragging their feet on the budget and other timeline-related resources, and ultimately the studio asked to focus on a more well-known character.
What do we Why are we doing Constantine?
They
game?
wanted
What
to
are we
do a
doing?
Constantine game. That sounds cool too.
Who
WB
wanted to do a
Montreal.
Constantine
WB
game?
Montreal wanted to
There's
make a Constantine game.
there's 12 Constantine fans.
I'm not saying there's a huge audience. I'm
Who is
saying,
this game for?
but don't you think that sound cool? Like a survival horror, almost like John Constantine. Like imagine Resident Evil, but with DC guys.
Because that's just but nobody played Alan Wake, and we already have that game.
But what if Alan Wake
They already
was
made Alan
John
Wake,
Constantine?
and he already kind of looks like Constantine, just with longer hair.
Well, Sam, you would be a great Warner Brothers Games executive because they shut that project down and told them to work on a game that with a character someone had heard of.
That's probably a good idea.
The studio then was deciding between making a game focused on the Joker or the Flash. They ultimately decided on making a Flash game, although that game had barely started any sort of production before the Flash movie came out and bombed at the box office and it got canceled.
Hey, idiots! Just because you make a bad movie doesn't mean the game is gonna be bad.
Yeah, but Warner Brothers interprets the Flash movie bombing as no one likes the Flash and we have to cancel all Flash stuff.
Yeah, no.
So-
They're very stupid.
WB
It's the
Montreal.
same thing with Green Lantern. They have one bad movie, and they go, "Uh-oh, guess we can't touch this character for another decade."
They said gotta cancel that
Cool.
popular and good cartoon show.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
So WB
No,
Montreal,
that's really cool.
they're now assisting on various projects across the company, including Wonder Woman. They're also working on a pitch for a Game of Thrones game. So
Didn't
WB Montreal,
didn't NetEase or Netmarble, didn't they just release it or start? They did. There was a trailer for a Game of Thrones game at the Game Awards.
was it like a mobile card game?
No, it was a mobile game, but it was like a choose your own adventure. You're a guy in Westeros game.
Yeah, my guess is WB Montreal is probably trying to make a AAA Game of Thrones universe canon game or something.
So you mean what you're trying to say is you mean they're gonna make Elder Scrolls 6?
They're gonna try to make Elden Ring with Game of Thrones.
Well, actually, Skyrim was originally a Game of Thrones game, and then it was later changed in development to be Elder Scrolls 5.
Hey, do you know it's been nearly 6 years since they announced Elder Scrolls 6? Actually, it might
That's
have been even
great.
more. It might be
You know what?
7.
We got GTA 6 before we got Elder Scrolls 6. That's gonna be the new meme for me.
When was Elder Scrolls 6 announced? E3 2018. It's been nearly 7 years since they announced that game. You know how many updates we've gotten, Sam? 0.
None. 0. Nada.
I love how
Actually, less than Grand Theft Auto.
the games industry, they'll just like have
Those came out the same year, right?
what? Skyrim and GTA 5?
GTA 5? Yeah, I think they came out the same
I
year.
believe so. That sounds right. GTA 5 came out in 2013. Skyrim came out in 2011. So Skyrim was even before GTA.
Oh, wow.
5.
Even longer, actually.
So it's been 14 years since the last Elder Scrolls game.
Man, Nick thinks he knows suffering. He has no idea.
So now moving on to Avalanche. The studio produced the most successful game of 2023, Hogwarts Legacy. They're currently working on new content for that game. But that is despite concerns from WB executives after Quidditch Champions failed. They're getting iffy on the Warner Brothers IP. But Avalanche, only studio at WB Games that appears to be making any money because of Hogwarts Legacy being a hit.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
And then that brings us to, I guess, what you could say is the most popular studio at WB Games. That is Rocksteady, who developed the Batman Arkham series. So they spent 6 years in development and hundreds of millions of dollars on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. The CEO of WB Games at the time said he hoped to make it a $1 billion game. It faced a lot of turmoil internally, as most of the team at Rocksteady were used to making single-player action games and not online multiplayer shooters. A decent portion of the team left mid-production to form a new separate studio because of frustration. After it launched, Rocksteady abandoned plans for post-launch content after the first year because it was such a failure. They rushed out some half-baked DLC story motion comic conclusion, abandoned their whole season pass structure, are shutting down online services for the game, and they have started to work on a new single-player Batman game, but that is in its infant stages and is years away from release. Sam, more Batman Arkham, probably? Does that sound interesting?
I haven't played
to
any of the
you?
Arkham games.
But does that sound more
Also,
interesting
didn't
than
they
a
just
bad
make
game?
Batman Arkham Rat King or something?
They did, and apparently it's good, but no one played it because it's in VR.
It's exclusive to the MetaQuest 2 and 3. Or no, MetaQuest 3 and 3S.
I think the only problem with making a new Batman Arkham game is that they killed him off twice now, and Kevin Conroy is dead in real life. So I don't really know.
No, not dead. He was a clone.
No, but that's the second time they fake killed him off in the Batman Arkham series.
He's fake dead again, guys. Why didn't they just send the actual Justice League then?
Huh?
So Wonder Woman just is actually dead, and all
Wonder
the other
Woman
ones
is the
are
only
fine?
one
Why
who's
didn't they
actually dead.
Why didn't they just send in the Justice League to fight the fake
They were
Justice
being
League?
held captive by Brainiac
Why?
so he could make clones that the Suicide Squad could kill.
And he only made one of each?
Yeah, he only needed one.
Why?
Because then you could kill him.
Why wouldn't you just make 7 Superman clones?
That'd probably take a lot of work.
As much work as making 7 individual clones of each one that's different. I feel like it'd be easier to make
Okay.
7
Okay,
clones
that
of
makes
one
sense.
guy.
So Roger Craig Smith, who voiced him in Batman Arkham Origins, I guess would just take over that role. But anyway, what?
I feel like making 7 clones of 7 different people would be a lot harder than just making 7 clones of one dude.
But, then the boss fights wouldn't be as unique for the game. Brainiac seems like he's probably real concerned with like level design. So he's probably like, I got to make one of each.
Oh,
so
he's a
variety.
gamer at heart.
He's a gamer at heart. Yeah, he's like, I got to give these guys some variety. I can't just spam the one enemy over and over again. I got to make the Flash.
All right, Brainiac. Okay, Brainiac.
Yeah, Sam, Warner Brothers Games, not looking too hot. Spent hundreds of millions of dollars on crap no one liked and no one wants to play or stuff that doesn't exist. And now they're in the hole and they're having to make Batman Arkham 7 and more Hogwarts Legacy crap. Because no one wanted to play Suicide Squad or Multiverses.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's ever gonna want to play those games.
Well, you should have told them that
bad.
6 years ago. Apparently, Sam, spending hundreds of millions of dollars chasing a live service trend didn't work out. And who would have seen that coming?
Well, I'm not gonna say I told you so.
It's not like this is the lesson the game
'Cause I don't
industry
have
has
to,
been learning
'cause
every
you,
single
you
day for the
figured it
past
out.
7 years.
I wonder how many times they're gonna take.
A million. They're going to keep doing it. They're not going to stop. They're never going to stop.
Why?
Because it worked for Fortnite.
Why aren't they gonna stop?
Because it worked for Fortnite.
Yeah,
know how
and
these people think.
Not even the games that were big live service games before Fortnite are still big. Like, it's just Fortnite.
Well, Call of Duty is basically live service, and that still makes money. There's a lot of live service elements to like the EA Sports games, and those are very profitable. And then you just have like Overwatch, and I guess League of Legends, if you consider that live service. So
Yeah, it's definitely live
those are the
service.
big ones that they're all chasing. Those are the ones they all want to be, because those make just hundreds of millions of dollars every year.
Hang on, read off that list one more time.
Of live service games.
Yeah, the ones that work.
Fortnite, Overwatch, League of Legends, Call of Duty, Madden, NBA 2K.
Okay,
but
which
even
one of
those
those
last
is based
two-
on a pre-existing? Which one of those was based on a pre-existing movie or TV show?
I mean Fortnite in some ways because it's filled with IP content.
You've seen the Fortnite show?
No, I'm just saying it's filled with like, look, it's Darth Vader from Star Wars.
Yeah,
Don
but it
Toretto.
got to that point, and then they did that. Like it was huge, and then they
It was
started
huge
adding
before
more
that. Yeah,
IP
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. My point is, none of those games are based on maybe Madden, you could argue, but with the exception of Madden, none of those games are based on pre-existing sports
Or IP.
or pre-existing IPs.
Yeah. But
They're all their own games.
But
and then they got big. And then the IPs came when they got big.
Executive Brain tells you if you slap Batman onto it, it's guaranteed to make exponentially more money. So in their brain, if they just make the laziest, crappiest live service game possible, that'll be as successful as Fortnite. But then if they put Batman on it, it'll be double as successful. And that's called finances. That's big thunking.
Methinks perhaps they doth be stupid. That's what methinks.
I think this is billions of dollars of good ideas, and I think they should keep doing it. I mean, did we talk about it when PlayStation revealed that they were making like a live service God of War game that they canceled and stuff like that? They had canceled like six different
they had like
live
a
service
bunch
games.
of live service games in development.
Yeah, most of their games were live service stuff because Concord was a massive failure, so they shut it all down. Hey, Concord was exactly what you were asking for, by the way. That was all original IP. And you let it fail, Sam.
That's true. But they need it to be original IP and also a good game. That's the part they forgot with that one.
You need two things. You need it to be an original idea and also not garbage. And they struggle at both.
Well, actually, no, Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is doing pretty good.
That's true. That's popular. That's pre-existing IP. But it's also fun.
Yeah. Okay, so there's one. They have one example.
You know what? Also, the other thing about Marvel Rivals is that is free to play. Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League cost you $70 plus online services plus in-game currency.
And what's it? Concord was $40.
Yeah. Marvel Rivals free.
Free and
wonder
good.
What the and Fortnite free. Overwatch 2 free. It's almost as if a key component of this entire model is not making people pay $70 for a base game with no content.
Yeah, maybe if you're going to make a live service game, you cannot have a big barrier to entry. Maybe then everyone will not play it because all the other competition is free.
But
maybe it's possible.
Do they have King Shark?
They have Jeff the Shark.
Shoot, I didn't think about Jeff the Shark. Crap.
Who is not a real character.
Studio plant.
He was made up for the game. Just like Luna Snow. Also not a real character. You don't know famous Marvel character Luna Snow?
I think I've seen her. I just assumed she was some like deep cut X-Men character.
No. She is literally from like one other... I think she's from
Snow.
Marvel Snap.
From Marvel Future Fight. Which was a
mobile this is a different mobile game, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That's her first appearance. Created by Billy Roseman and Danny Koo. Has she been in comics?
No, two dudes
She's appeared in the
never
comics
make
since
a character like that.
She's appeared in a couple comics since then, it looks like. She was in Agents of Atlas. And that's it. Anyway, Sam, speaking of things...
Agents of what?
Agents of Atlas.
What is that?
That is the team consisting of 3D Man,
Atlas,
Arrow, Crescent and Low, Giant Man, Gorilla Man, M11,
Oh, Gorilla Man. Why didn't you say so?
Namora, Silk, Swordmaster, Venus, White Fox.
Swordmaster.
Wave.
Why didn't you say so?
This appears to be the team of all of the Marvel characters that they forgot exist. But apparently it's been running for a very long time. So good for them, I guess. You don't love Namora, who appears to be female Namor?
I'm good on that one, actually, I think. Yeah, I decided I'm good on that one.
I mean, they're going to get a Marvel movie at some point because they exist. You know that's coming.
Or they'll show up in an episode of What If.
Did you see that they put featured in Marvel Rivals on like a list of Disney Plus Marvel stuff? Like they're trying to use it.
Yeah, I did see they made a little category on Disney Plus.
Featuring
That's
characters
cute.
from Marvel Rivals, and we got the New Mutants, we got the Amazing Spider-Man 2, Iron Fist TV show. These are not the things I would be telling people to watch. Cloak and Dagger, Fantastic Four 2015. Yeah, I would hide these. I wouldn't like advertise these.
You gotta give them something.
Sometimes people just gotta watch Iron Fist 2015, 2017, whatever that show came out.
Sometimes you have to watch Iron Fist, and it's not even the Iron Fist that's in the game. Sometimes you just have to
Different
watch
guy.
Iron Fist for no reason.
Danny Rand, erased, no longer existent. Sorry, buddy.
There is no Danny Rand. All
You've been
right, what
replaced.
is next? What else is happening?
Sam, I know you love talking about things that don't exist. So we have brand new entries in what I'm
we
calling
love talking about things that don't and will never exist.
what I'm calling the WECU, or the Won't Exist Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
We have
This
three
is
very
a new and
high-profile
burgeoning
entries.
category that me and Tucker have been exploring in the realms of academia over this last week of movies that simply won't.
Well, I think over just this past week, I think this podcast over the past 5 years has been a chronology of just things being announced and then never existing at all. So
Yeah, we're like the news, but we tell you stuff that like probably won't happen.
So we have three things, and then at the end of this, I guess we could pick which one of these is most likely to actually exist. So the first off is a new Magic the Gathering cinematic universe. Hasbro and Legendary Entertainment are teaming up to create a shared universe that will span film and television, with a feature film based on the game first on the priority list. A TV series is already in the works at Netflix with Terry Matalas show running. According to Zev Foreman, who's the Hasbro Entertainment head of film, this is an exciting and complementary partnership, uniting one of the world's most iconic brands with a powerful and proven steward. Magic the Gathering has inspired decades of epic world building and creative storytelling. It is a perfect match for Legendary's diversified approach to marquee IP, and we are excited to work together to build a whole new Magic the Gathering universe. Sam, you love IPs.
What is he talking about?
I love that corporate
What is he
executives.
talking about?
I love that corporate executives are just incapable of sounding like anything other than just like a mindless drones reading off buzzwords. Like he just can't give a spiel without being like
Magic the Gathering's a card game.
No, Sam.
Epic world building.
It is one of the world's
Is he getting it confused with Wizards of the Coast's one other property?
Sam, it is one of the world's most iconic brands. And it is inspired decades of epic world building and creative storytelling. It is a perfect match for Legendary's diversified approach to marquee IP.
It's inspired generations of buying little pieces of cardboard.
But Sam, is it a perfect match for Legendary's diversified approach to marquee IP? That's the real question.
What does that mean? What does that even mean? What are you talking about?
It means corporate
What are you
jargon.
saying right now?
It means corporate jargon generated by ChatGPT is what that means.
What are you saying? That's not real words. Say real words. What are you saying right now?
Well, they don't want to say anything because nothing exists yet. So they
Then
just
don't
have to
say anything.
They just
Say
have to be
something
like,
when
we
something
love
exists.
say we love corporate synergy and IP and
This
marketability.
didn't even work because they already did this with Dungeons and Dragons and it was good and no one even cared.
But
So what are we doing? What are we talking about?
Sam, do you remember that one cinematic universe that made a lot of money?
The Marvel one?
Yeah, what if we tried to do that?
Yeah, you're not gonna do that.
I love how much
You could maybe, tops, you could do maybe like an Arcane thing. That's, I think, creatively where
but
you're
even-
maxing out
even
Magic the Gathering.
Arcane. Oh, well, Arcane was League of Legends, and are those related?
No, but you see that the fact that you thought that
I have
they
no
are
idea. I
very
don't know anything about
similar
Magic the Gathering.
in terms of how their worlds work, where it's like we need to make new cards, so we make up a new thing and it's part of the lore, and maybe it is, maybe it's not.
But Sam, the MCU made bagillions of dollars. So if we just find another
The MCU
thing,
is not even making MCU money anymore.
Sam, I love that we've been trying to chase the cinematic universe trend since like Avengers 1, right? Which was like 13 years ago. And literally not a single one of these other things has worked except for like maybe the Monsterverse, arguably.
No,
But that's like at least
kinda.
that's at least made money. Like I'm saying like the rest of these like
Yeah, the King Kong and Godzilla verse.
the DCU, the Dark Universe, the Sony Spider-Man universe. I feel like the Lego movie universe, the Star Wars universe. Like I feel like every single time they try to roll out a new cinematic universe, it just fails. I mean, they couldn't even make a cinematic universe out of other Marvel characters. 2 other studios tried to do cinematic universes with Marvel characters and it didn't work. Some even tried several times. Like,
Yeah, that's what the MCU is not even the MCU anymore. They've had like 2 hits in the last 5 years.
but what if we do it with Magic the Gathering?
Name anything from Magic the Gathering.
Magic. Is
Is
mana,
that a
mana
guy
thing in that
or is
game?
that like an energy?
Is mana?
I
a
don't
thing?
know because I don't know anything about Magic
Well,
the Gathering.
you're gonna fall
Other
in
than
love
that
with
it's
it.
owned by Wizards of the Coast and they have done collabs with D&D.
Sam,
That is all I know.
You're gonna love it when the TV series and movie come out at the same time. You're gonna love it.
That's great. That'll be really cool.
Next up, a Bandai Namco and Legendary Entertainment. Once again, big week for Legendary.
Legendary is just really making moves here.
Are teaming up for a live-action feature film based on Gundam to be written and directed by Sweet Tooth co-creator Jim Mickey. Sam, you like a Gundam? You remember Gundam?
I have heard of Gundam.
What if
I
Gundam,
know about Gundam.
What if Gundam but movie now?
I don't know anything about Gundam, to be honest. I never really got into Gundam.
Is Gundam the robots that turn into planes? What does Gundam do?
No, that's Macross or Robotech.
Right. I know Gundam. I know the robot.
Gundam is the one that
does.
made the big robots popular.
Okay, is that the one where they each control like?
It was the
limb?
OG.
Like, what is Gundam's
No,
thing?
you're thinking of Power Rangers.
No, I'm thinking of Power Rangers, and I'm also thinking of Voltron.
Every other Super Sentai show. Yeah.
What was Gundam's unique thing? Was it just a big robot?
They were the first ones to do big robot.
Okay, so it's boring, is what I'm hearing.
No, usually, so their main thing is they do commentary on like war and politics. It's big robot, but it's a metaphor for war.
Sam, that sounds like woke to me. That sounds too woke.
I mean, if
I
you're
Gundam,
really dumb,
I thought Gundam was about robots punching. Sam.
Then maybe
Movies
you should
don't have
rewatch
any
any of the
meaning.
Gundam shows.
Movies aren't about anything, Sam.
No, they just are. They're just content
Starship
that I
Troopers
consume.
is about shooting bugs and nothing else. RoboCop is about how cool a robotic cop man is. Sam, you don't know anything.
Yeah, it's just how every movie is just about how cool that idea is.
Yeah. What else is Jim? What is this guy? Jim Mickle? What else have you done, my guy? You did. Oh, nothing. You've done nothing at all. Okay.
Hey, apparently Legendary Pictures is also doing a live-action My Hero Academia movie for Netflix.
I think Legendary has the rights to My Hero Academia and Naruto.
And Detective Pikachu 2.
Detective Pikachu 2's been in
They're
the works
also
for
doing
like
that?
7 years at this point.
And
I
if
don't think
I'm
that's gonna
not
happen.
mistaken, I believe they are also doing the Naruto movie.
So Legendary, yeah, they have the rights to Naruto. They also do Dune with Warner Brothers. They do the MonsterVerse stuff. These are very interesting movies they have. So they own the rights to. They're doing films based on Duke Nukem. Ancient Aliens, the History Channel show.
Okay.
Poppy Playtime. Yeah, My Hero Academia.
YouTube game.
Mm-hmm. Danny and the Dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they also have the Pokemon rights.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy that they haven't done anything
apparently.
with Pokemon since that movie came out.
Yeah, can we make a Pokemon live action movie that's not?
I think
Pikachu. Can we do anything else?
I think they
Can we do
expected that
something
movie to be bigger, which it's not even like it was a failure. Like it made money, but like
It was yeah, for video game movies it did pretty
especially
good.
at the time, and also like if you just did a more just straightforward Pokemon movie, like I feel like that would be guaranteed to make more money.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu was a hard sell.
Yeah, because
and
it's a dumb
weird
idea
project to do.
Yeah,
It was like the bare bones minimum idea put into an idea.
it was the highest grossing video game.
No, that's not it.
Movie
It was
of all
too much
time when it
idea
came
put
out.
into an idea. Maybe we don't need to have Mewtwo transmute the soul of my dead dad into a Pikachu so that I can go on an adventure with Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu, and I'm also depressed.
But we
Maybe
needed to
that was
have
too
Ryan
much of an
Reynolds.
idea.
But what if Ryan Reynolds was a
Maybe-
cute little guy?
Maybe just watch Pokemon Origins. I know I keep saying this, but it keeps being true. Just watch Pokemon Origins and then do that. Just do that, but it's live action. That's all you have to do. It's very easy.
The last update from Detective Pikachu 2 was that Jonathan Crystal was supposed to direct and Chris Galetta was supposed to write it. He's the director of some comedy TV shows, and he's supposed to also direct the upcoming Sesame Street film.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, Sam.
Putting a Sesame Street guy on this, okay?
One more movie.
I see the vision.
One more movie.
I see the vision. I don't like it, but I see the vision.
Spin Master Corp is working on a live-action feature adaptation of Bakugan.
The heck is Spin Master Corp?
From Atlas.
What is that?
Spin Master? You don't know
No,
Spin
who are
Master?
you? Who is Spin Master Corp?
You don't remember? They're just.
I'm
they're,
doing a Google.
They're a toy
Who are
company.
you?
They're a toy company. They do all the toys.
Oh, they just make Bakugan and basically nothing
and
else.
Paw Patrol.
Okay.
They do Paw Patrol too. They make Paw Patrol.
One of the first questions is Spin Master still in business? That's one of the...
Okay, they do Angry Birds. They do...
Angry Birds is dead.
They do Orbeez.
Oh, they make Kinetic Sand. They make Rubik's Cubes. They make the
Zuzu
gun
Pets.
stuffed animals, which I believe is Webkins. Or was Webkins. I don't think
They
Webkins
do
are still
Zuzu
around
Pets.
anymore.
Ripped my Webkins.
Oh, yeah, I forgot those are back now.
Rest in peace, gang. I miss you.
Is Webkins still a website? Is that
it
still a
up?
thing?
Let's find out live on the McDonCast. I might have to go. grab a
Webkins.com.
charger in a minute.
I googled it. What's going
It's
what's
still
going to
up.
happen
It's
here?
still running. It's still up.
Oh
We could-
no! Oh no!
What?
Oh no!
You can play Webkins. Oh,
That's
what am I
not
looking
a
at?
good. That's not a good.
What?
Let me send you a screenshot.
Is it the ugly CGI ones on the left?
Yeah, they made it into VR chat.
Oh, well, you can still play classic Webkins. So
Why did they
Still
do
up.
this? Is horrifying. What
it
it
looks
why
looks like a direct to
is that a
VHS.
2D sprite of the pink one and they just put it in a 3D bus? What is this?
That appears to be the case.
Who made this?
Well,
Why is the rabbit pushing around a baby sloth? Did the
Sam-
rabbit give birth to that sloth?
My guess is that Webkins,
What does that mean?
Webkins isn't operating on exactly the highest budget.
Okay, but then the 2D PNG sprite. Look at these two games. If I'm 10 or even younger, which one looks more fun to play? The cute one with the cute cartoon characters that look like they're not horrifying freaks of nature, or the one that looks like the rejected experiments from the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
I'm gonna pick the gross looking one because that's computer.
Yeah, that looks gross.
Sam,
For the
we don't have
90s,
time
this
for
looks
Webkins
bad.
talk. We gotta get back to Bakugan. Atlas and San Andreas filmmaker Brad Payton is supposed to write, direct, and produce. I have a little quote here. Bakugan is a global franchise with a multi-generational and devoted fan base built on the strength of its compelling characters and explosive battles. Spin Master Entertainment president Jennifer Dodge said, as fans who were part of its initial craze now enter adulthood, we are thrilled to be working with accomplished filmmaking talent like Brad to reimagine Bakugan in live action, expanding the franchise for fans while introducing it to new audiences around the world. We're going to introduce Bakugan. Didn't we own Bakugans, like a couple of them?
We had 3 of them.
They're like balls, and you would like flick them, and then they'd blow up into robots.
You
right?
roll them onto a card, and they open.
Right.
And then there were 2 generations. There was the first ones, which they would just stay on the card, and whoever had the highest number won. And then there were the other ones where they would bounce, and if they landed on another one of your cards, you got a power boost. But generally speaking, again, it was whoever had the highest number won. It was not a very fun game.
But what if movie?
I don't think anyone care about that anymore.
Okay.
I think Beyblade
Well,
has a bigger fan base today than this does.
Would it sell you more if I told you that the guy who directed Atlas, San Andreas, and Journey to the Mysterious Island, and also Cat and Dogs 2: The Revenge of Kitty Galore was making the film?
That would not help at all.
When are we bringing back the Cats and Dogs franchise? Did you know that Cats and Dogs 2...
I think that franchise is good.
Did you know that Cats and Dogs 2 cost $85 million to make?
I remember they made a third one?
They did. Pause Unite, direct to video in 2020. That one was a merciful 84 minutes as opposed.
What was even the plot? The cats were like Nazis.
The cats were evil spies and the dogs were good spies, and they fought.
Yeah, but the cats wanted to do their evil plan was like way too evil.
I don't remember. I'm not looking it up. I don't care. Tobey Maguire was the voice of the main character. Jeff Goldblum was.
What was the plot of Cats vs. Dogs 2: Revenge of Kitty Galore?
What was the Cats' evil plan? Cats and Dogs 2. This is the only time anyone's Googled this in the past 5 years. Make dogs go mad so that cats can rule the world. Right, they were gonna make them like a beat.
Maybe the plan wasn't.
Maybe we just remember.
Yeah, they wanted them all to get like taken to the pound or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe you just remember it as being darker than it actually was because you were a little kid.
Well, I mean, it's like that's basically like concentration camps.
Kitty Galore is a good name, though. That's also a fun reference. I guess it's a reference to.
Anyway.
Wait, hang on, let me just make sure. Yeah, that was a reference to
reference
Pussy
to
Galore,
something.
right? From James Bond.
It was.
Or am I just delusional?
Who is? What is? Who is that?
That was one of the Bond women from, I think, one of the Sean Connery movies. And get it, this was like spy stuff. So
it's like kind of related to
Dude,
like one of the female characters from James Bond.
Yeah, because they're like spies. J.K. Simmons was in Cats and Dogs 2, Sam.
Okay, J.K. Simmons is in everything though.
Roger Moore was in Cats and Dogs 2.
Which one of these movies is the most likely to exist?
So Magic the Gathering.
I think Gundam.
Gundam or Bakugan.
I think Gundam might get made.
I think you're right. I think Gundam is probably the most likely, just because that's like
Gundam is the only one of these 3 things that makes sense to be a movie.
Magic the Gathering is going to be something. Like
that
TV show has like a showrunner, and Netflix will probably make that because Netflix will make anything. So
I think that will end up being kind of like an Arcane type thing.
I think that show will definitely come out.
Avant-garde animated series on Netflix that like has a really passionate fan base, but like is really hard to get people to watch for some reason.
I don't think that's ever going to get a theatrical movie. I don't think a Bakugan is ever going to get a theatrical movie. Bakugan doesn't even have a studio.
Absolutely not.
No one's going to pay for that.
No.
Magic the Gathering I just don't think
Gundam still makes
that'll happen yet.
billions of dollars a year, as far as
Gundam,
they make a lot of money selling model kits.
Gundam is popular enough to where like some dumb studio will get some Chinese investors to pay $150 million to make a mediocre to bad Gundam movie that flops.
Okay, how much money does Gundam make? 82 billion yen. No. 140. Oh, wait, this is total. Wait. No, annual. Okay. 145 billion yen in 2024. So let's go say USD so we can get a freedom number. Tell me that in freedom numbers. Okay, 870 million. So it's almost $1 billion franchise.
Almost. This could put it over the edge. This could be its time.
This could bring it to the West. This could make it a big thing over here. But yeah, it's not really a thing people care about really right now. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. Forbes says they made nearly $1 billion last year. Okay, Thank you, Forbes. Not helpful.
All right, Sam. Moving on to the trailers. Normally we do the trailers at the front, but this time we're talking about the Super Bowl trailers at the end. Now, most of these trailers didn't actually air during the Super Bowl. Some of them did. Some of them aired during the pregame show. Most of them released online in the days leading up to the Super Bowl because no one likes having fun anymore. Sam, did you watch any of the Super Bowl in general before we get to the trailers?
No. Well, I saw a little bit of it, but it was like I was at work, so like it was whatever I could watch while I wasn't doing stuff.
Okay, you didn't miss much because it was an awful, terrible game. The Eagles blew out the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the game was a blowout.
34 points. It was not fun to watch. Most of the ads were terrible. Did you see the Kendrick Lamar halftime show?
I did go and I watched that on YouTube after.
What did we think? There were some very out-of-touch people on Twitter complaining about rap music, as there is every year, basically, at this point.
It's pretty cool.
I
thought it was fun.
I did enjoy everyone calling Drake a pedophile live on national television. That was pretty fun.
I do think it's cool. Well, you know Serena Williams used to date Drake?
I didn't know that until yesterday. And she was...
Yeah, so
I like how
that's crazy.
She didn't even she was just on screen for 5 seconds dancing.
Yeah, no, she just was doing a little jig up there.
She was just there to make him upset.
Yeah. No, the whole thing was just to make Drake upset.
Which is insane, and I loved it.
Which is fine.
And Samuel L. Jackson was there dressed as Uncle Sam. That was fun. Do you see people just straight up not understanding what they were looking at and being like, wow, this is so patriotic? Did you see that? Did you freeze? Oh, no.
Hello?
Oh,
there we go. My Wi-Fi died for a second.
Anyway. But yeah.
Right, we're back.
So we got a bunch of trailers.
Rihanna's talking about Smurfette.
Oh, you want to do Smurf? Well, there was a new spot for F1, which is the...
Oh, I was just watching them. Yeah, I saw the F1 one. It looks exactly like
it's
Gran
just him in a
Turismo
car.
Movie, so I don't really
So
care
I was
much.
at a Super Bowl party, and some people saw the F1 spot, and there was some general... So basically how I'm gauging these is if anyone I was watching the game with who was mostly just a bunch of normal dudes who don't like who don't normally go to the movies. So I was mostly more interested in just gauging interest in these trailers than anything else. F1 got a healthy amount of interest. I think this could do well. I really do. It cost way too much money.
It'll do well.
They spent $200 million on it.
It'll do fine.
But Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt. And F1's real popular. So I think it could do all right. It's the Top Gun Maverick guy. If he can shoot those racing sequences anything like the airplane sequences.
I mean, if he can figure out how to shoot airplanes, he can figure out how to shoot cars.
Yeah, if it's anything like those, I think we're in for a good time. What does not look like a good time is Smurfs. With Rihanna playing.
This is exactly the exact same as the first Smurfs.
Yeah, so this has the same plot. There's an evil Gargamel scheme, and they have to go to our world. And
although they did add racism, that's a new addition.
They've just merged the plots of
the first of the two Smurfs movies.
Yes, And they did an animated one too, like set like in 2017. Why are we still doing Smurfs? Why are we still doing Smurf stuff?
Smurfs can never ever die.
Does anyone like Smurfs? Like, who are the Smurfs fans?
There aren't any, but everyone is also a Smurfs fan.
Who is this for? Like, okay.
It's like being a Garfield fan. It's like, that's not a thing. You just know about it.
This looks annoying. Like, it looks genuinely awful. Like, the designs aren't great. It's super generic looking. It's another one of the cartoon characters walk around in New York City, which we've seen 100,000 times. I think
the animation looks okay. Like, the animation looks pretty good.
Decent, but it's nothing like amazing. It just looks.
No, but I mean, I like the like kind of sketchy style.
I can't believe we're still trying to throw like YouTube influencer stuff into movies.
Who's the YouTuber?
There's an influencer Smurf. You want influencer Smurf?
I don't know what that means.
There's some sort of dumb turtle character, and they're doing that thing which they've done.
Influencer Smurf.
They've done
smash that subscribe button.
Yeah, and then the YouTube logo pops up because that's how YouTube works. We're doing there's a different race of Smurfs thing which they've done like 4 times at this point. Like,
how does the Smurf have YouTube? How does he get that?
I don't know. How
did he do that?
I don't know.
Don't they live in another like dimension? Where did he get YouTube from?
Like, okay, what I was going to say is when I was a little kid and I went to the library and I went to the graphic novel section, I read like dozens of Smurf comics. I read a bunch of those things. Those were pretty fun. Like, if anyone is the target audience, like if I was a person with like who should have Smurfs nostalgia and like,
it would be us. Like,
it would be me because I like was a little kid and I read all those comics. But like, I don't want this. I am not excited for this at all. Who is this for?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, is there a big audience of like modern day kids reading Smurf comics? Like, is this like a hidden group we're not aware of?
Don't read anymore. I'm trying to.
Let's see.
So the last Smurfs movie made like $200 million worldwide on a $60 million budget. So that's like a small profit. And that was basically the same setup. It was the Smurfs go and meet different Smurfs, and Smurfette was voiced by a famous singer. It was Demi Lovato in that one, and it's Rihanna in this one.
Yeah, none of these movies have done. I mean, the first one made a decent amount.
Yeah, the first live action one did. And I think that's what they're chasing. But we've got John Goodman as Papa Smurf.
As of 2008, so this is a little outdated, but the Smurfs franchise in total has generated approximately $4 billion in revenue.
Hold on.
Across everything.
Have I mentioned, though, and this is a game changer, James Corden is in this new one.
Well, then I believe it's cooked. I think it's Jover from Smurfs. I think you can officially sail this one away.
This comes out in what is probably the biggest month of movies for this entire year, which is July. So first week of July, on July 2nd, you have Jurassic World Rebirth, which we'll talk about the trailer for that in a second. And then on July 4th, we have the mystery Kendrick Lamar times South Park guys musical comedy movie on the 4th. July 11th, there's Superman. On July 18th, there's Smurfs. And then on the 25th, there's Fantastic Four. Also on the 18th is the I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot. So this thing is going to drown, right? Like, if there's one that people skip, it's going to be Smurfs. Especially since it looks awful.
It looks just like nothing. Like, if there's nothing, it's just nothing.
It's like the only thing they have going for them is like.
Why are they doing live action in Paris? What is?
I don't know.
What? Huh?
Because they already did New York.
What are we doing?
So,
maybe we just don't do live action. Maybe.
You'd think. Well, they didn't the last time, and that didn't make as much money as the first one did. So.
Well, yeah,
Go back
that's gonna happen.
and do that again. That's logic.
And I think I think we can wrap it up on the Smurfs. I think the Smurfs are over.
I think it might be
they are
time
not.
to retire the Smurfs IP forcefully
Yeah, I think
if
the
necessary.
Smurfs. Maybe it's time to put them.
Uh,
Maybe call Gravedigger Smurf and have him fix some nice spots at the cemetery.
is there Morticianer Smurf?
Mortician Smurf.
Yeah. Is there police?
Is there a what's the guy who plays the bagpipes at a funeral? We need one of those guys, Smurfs.
Bagpipe Smurf?
Bagpipe Smurf.
He keeps smurfing on the Smurfs.
All right. Novocaine looks so.
Yeah, there was another spot for
Lame.
Novocaine, which I don't know why they paid for that.
I just don't care.
It looks
I just don't
fine.
care about Novocaine.
It just looks kind of generic. There was a spot.
What's going on with
for-
Lilo and Stitch?
There was a
What is
spot
he
for
doing?
Lilo and Stitch, but it was not any footage of the movie. It was just a 30-second teaser of Stitch running around. This movie comes out in 3 months, and there's no footage of it at all. They've put out nothing, and we don't know when we're going to
Well,
get an
Stitch
actual
has to
trailer.
run around. He has to run around.
It's a cute little spot, and like it ties into the game, and that's fine. But like, are you not going to show us any footage of the movie? It's concerning you won't show us any footage of the movie itself, and are just going to
That's weird.
just have Stitch.
But like, you'd think if they were worried about showing footage, it would be because they'd be worried like Stitch doesn't look right. But that's all they're showing us.
Or maybe the movie just is bad.
No, but even a bad movie, like you could cut together some cinematic looking shots and just be like, look, we're back, and then that's it. Like you don't even if the movie's bad, you can cut around it.
Like,
you know?
Obviously, I get your whole marketing campaign being look at Stitch because Stitch is really cute, but like you got to show people that there's a movie and you're not just like selling Stitch merch. Like you gotta like let them know there's a product they need to go buy. But Lilo and Stitch looks fine, I guess. The only movie that got a whole new trailer to air during the game was Thunderbolts from Marvel. They put out a whole brand new trailer. Looks fun. People were interested in this. People are interested in Thunderbolts. There's a level of curiosity that Marvel hasn't gotten in a while. Obviously, Deadpool and Wolverine was a big hit, but that was a thing everyone knew. This is kind of a new-ish idea. It's a ripoff of the Suicide Squad, but it's like characters who haven't been leads in a movie before for Marvel. But what did you think? Looks pretty good. We got our first look at Sentry. He was in Shadow.
Looks exactly like how I thought this is gonna look.
I mean, mystery villain who we don't know who he is at all.
Well,
we couldn't possibly know.
What is is it Nemesis is the evil reverse of
I think
Sentry?
he's called the Void.
The Void, that's right.
Yeah.
So the Void is the bad guy.
Yeah. But
I don't really know. Again, I don't really know how you have these guys deal with that.
Go up against him. I mean, they'll probably just give him some sort of weakness that like they got to shoot him in the back of the neck or something, and it'll
with a vibranium vaccine, and it gives him
something
it gives him.
I do like
autism.
I do like how they I do like how they bring up in the trailer that they're all just people who just kind of shoot guns and punch good.
Yeah, it seems like they're at least
they
aware conceptually of what's going on.
And I also like how they're just straight up not hiding the fact that Taskmaster is going to die in like the first 30 minutes.
And Sentry, that is an Avengers level issue. He's not.
Well, but
I don't understand.
There's no Avengers.
I don't understand.
There's no Avengers right now. There's no one to.
But there is
the
Avengers. Because in Captain America 4, they're going to be like, I need you to make new Avengers.
Well, Bucky's got to assemble his own Avengers, and it's just the Thunderbolts.
He assembles the worst Avengers. Yeah. We have the Avengers and the worst Avengers.
Okay, I don't know if we talked about this before. What do we think the asterisk is? Why do we think the asterisk is there?
I don't understand. I don't know. I think
other than branding.
I think it's just a branding thing. I think at the end of the movie, she's going to slap a folder on the table, and it's going to have a Thunderbolts with an asterisk on it. And we're going to be like, okay, I guess.
The theory is that they're actually the Dark Avengers. But I don't know why you wouldn't just call it that.
Okay, if that was the thing, they would definitely just call it that.
Yeah.
Because that would make $1 billion more than Thunderbolts.
I don't know. Maybe they're just that
If you release a movie called The Dark Avengers, that's going to make $1 billion.
Or it's more likely to than a movie called Thunderbolts.
It has the A word on it.
Yeah. Maybe they're just trying to conserve the Avengers branding. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
I think
It
maybe
does not make sense.
maybe it has a secret subtitle that won't be revealed.
And then they're like,
until the
"Oh,
movie.
it's the Dark Avengers Tower."
Something like that. Yeah, because we know from this trailer that Valentina
Yelena Belova,
Allegre
not
de Fontaine bought Avengers Tower.
Crazy name lady buys the tower.
Yeah, good payoff. A good payoff to that
No,
throwaway plot point
stupid
in a
payoff.
movie from 8 years ago.
Stupid, ooper doopid payoff. That should be the Baxter Building, and everybody knows that.
Yeah, but the Fantastic Four, which we'll talk about in a minute, not in this universe. So
Yeah, but where are they gonna be?
it can't
by
be
the end of their
Oscorp,
movie?
and it can't be the Baxter.
Why can't it be Oscorp?
Because there's no Oscorp in the MCU. So
Then we can make an Oscorp.
too late.
It
Well,
could have
okay,
also been
they couldn't have done
It could have
that
been
in-
an X-Men thing. Surely one of the X-Men's got a tower. Which X-Men has a tower? One of them does. I know
think
one of
this
them's
is
got a tower.
This is a Dark Avengers thing somehow. I don't know why they would hide that, but they are. Maybe there's a secret
Stupid.
character. I mean, that's a possibility.
No.
Maybe there's
stupid.
one-
I think they're just kind of stupid.
But it looks good. It looks very gray. I don't know why it's so gray, but
Well, everyone's been saying all these years, DC movies, they're gray, and these Marvel movies, they're too colorful. We should make it so they're all gray, and then we'll give DC the colorful.
yeah. Okay, real quick
We're doing a switcheroo.
before we move on to the next trailer, I gotta pause and go get a charger for my computer real quick. All right, the next trailer is Jurassic World Rebirth. This came out before the game. A first full look at the newest Jurassic World thing.
Well, Jurassic World movies with R in the name always are really good.
What was the last one?
They all have R in the name.
Wow, Sam, how insightful. This is a reboot of sorts. None of the creative team from the last three, none of the actors from the last three. David Koepp, who wrote the original Jurassic Park in 1993, penned the screenplay for this. This is directed, in quotes, by Gareth Edwards, who made the creator and Rogue One and 2014's Godzilla. So he came on to the project like 2 months before they started shooting. So he shot the movie, but he had very little creative input, like in pre-production. This was a big rush job. The studio rushed this one out. Why? Because they needed a Jurassic movie for this year. So they set a date for July 2nd, like in February of last year, and they've been rushing to meet it. This shot like less than a year ago. I think they grabbed photography.
Why is the xenomorph in this movie?
So the plot of this one, Sam, and hold on to your butts. This is a bold new step for the franchise. So a bunch of scientists have to go to an island where Hammond was putting all of the reject dinosaurs and testing them out, and they have to go.
Now, does this take place in the same universe as Dominion? So there's just dinosaurs everywhere?
Every Jurassic Park movie is still canon. So, no. I think the background is that all the dinosaurs running around in the normal world have died from climate change. And they're only alive on this one island.
Didn't they specifically genetically engineer them to not die from climate change?
I don't think they read about that part. So so the plot of this one is a group of scientists have to go to an island I guess this is site like to C or D, and extract dinosaur DNA from a bunch of dinosaurs to cure cancer or something. Now, Sam, I know what you're thinking. That sounds exactly like every other Jurassic Park and or Jurassic World movie, and you are correct. But this time,
But why is there a elephant xenomorph here?
because
though?
the twist is that there's mutant dinosaurs that are like look weird. That's why you got like the stegos, the what are they called? The ones with a long neck. Sam.
Stegosaurus,
Is that what they're called?
the ones with the long neck, or
Yeah.
Diplodocus. There's a lot of them with a long neck.
Yeah, the ones that eat from trees. That's why they got like a big tails and weird fins and crap
Yeah.
in this trailer. But yeah, that's the gimmick this time. Is some of the dinosaurs are a bit weird, and that's it. That's the only gimmick.
I mean, at least it's different, sorta.
Slightly,
I mean,
a little bit. Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey,
It's in
Mahershala
Screen
Ali.
X.
Yeah. You don't want to pay $20 to see this?
Our favorite format. That's our favorite format.
The big thing from this trailer was that there's a sequence that's going to be in the movie that was in the original book that didn't make the cut when in the first Jurassic Park that David Koepp added to this, which is a part where they're being chased by a T-Rex on a boat. So,
Okay.
Sam,
Cool.
Jurassic stuff. You loved Dominion.
It was my favorite movie.
Yep.
I did not hate it at all.
No,
I enjoyed sitting through that film. That was not a waste of time at all.
did we take Patrick to see Dominion? I think we did.
We took someone.
I think it was Patrick. We got to take him to see this.
I know
one.
my boss actually liked it, and I was
Oh.
like, "Are you crazy? Are you high?" He's like, "I was when I watched it." I was like, "Well, then that explains why
that's
you enjoyed it."
probably, I envy him. Because I had to watch that movie.
That would have made the movie tolerable.
I had to
think.
watch that movie sober next to a very overweight man who smelled of old onions and ate a pizza very loudly in my ear and farted several times.
Yeah, that movie just sucked. It was like it made no sense.
Dumb movie for idiots.
So,
All the
it-
Jurassic Park movies are bad except for the first one. Maybe The Lost World, but even then it's
Jurassic
like mediocre. at best.
World was fine. I mean, it was just the first one with different characters.
Yeah, it's got very dumb.
But they were
parts.
at least touching on new ideas. Like the Indominus Rex was like kind of a new like commentary on like spectacle.
Yeah, and then I guess the stuff
Like they were approaching some kind
part
of
the part where they
greater
like
idea.
the villain wanted to use velociraptors as like military
Military
stuff, like which
weapons.
is stupid. And
Like they were
dumb,
approaching
but like that's
some
something.
concepts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then like,
And then they just got so far
Fallen
off the
Kingdom
rails.
is ridiculously stupid, and
I don't even remember what happens in Fallen Kingdom. at
Fallen
all.
Kingdom is when it takes place mostly in like the basement of a rich guy's house, and the big
That's
thing.
right, and the daughter's a clone.
The daughter's a
and
clone, and
That was all so dumb.
they've created a
and
dinosaur
weird.
that like if you point like a laser pointer at someone, the dinosaur will like
Yeah, it like
jump
it
and
eats
kill
them.
him. But if you can do that,
And then
you can
my
just
question
shoot
was,
them with a
why
normal
not
gun.
just use a gun?
Yeah.
Because if you're already pointing a thing at them, you can point a gun at them.
Yeah. And then Dominion was about locusts, big genetically
Locusts
engineered locusts.
Eating all of the crops of
Mm-hmm.
all the companies except the bad company who was using the locusts.
Yeah, these movies are dumb, and for some reason, somehow they've managed to screw up dinosaurs in movies. Like you'd think that'd be a slam dunk in terms of quality, but they keep managing to like shoot themselves in the foot with a shotgun. But they still make $1 billion. Like all of these made $1 billion. All three of the Jurassic World movies made $1 billion. So, I mean, it makes sense that you would do this. This will be diminishing returns though. There's no way this makes as much as the last three.
No, this is so over for this.
Because it's like you can't. This is too fast of a turnaround. This is 5 years. I mean, this is 3 years after Dominion, and like to a reboot. That's insane. And you don't have Chris Pratt. You don't have any of the returning cast from the original movies. No Goldblum. No Sam Neill. Like, what are we doing here, gang?
I don't know. Let's talk about cool movie. Let's talk about let's talk about different dinosaur.
Do you
fake
consider
dinosaurs.
How to Train Your Dragon a cool movie?
Yeah,
I consider the original one a cool movie. I don't know if this new one's going to be a cool movie.
I think it'll be exactly the same.
Is it because it
And so
looks to
that
be
by
shot for
default
shot the exact same
pretty
movie?
much makes it a cool movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into that.
I mean,
sort
the
of thing.
flying scene looks great. I mean, it'll be cool to see that in live action. I mean, I
Uh,
imagine it would be at least somewhat more immersive.
I don't think this will be bad at all. I just don't. You gotta give me something, man. Gotta like have one difference, right? Gotta do
Well,
one thing kind of
Astrid's
different.
hair is a different color. To Twitter's dismay.
That ain't the only thing that's a different color.
No, it's literally just her hair. Like, I would not have known that she is not a Scandinavian woman if I was not told over and over again.
Yeah, this looks fine. There's supposed to be a long full trailer on I think Wednesday, so it'll be the day after this podcast goes up. But yeah, no, it's more How to Train Your Dragon. All right, here was the big one. This was the biggest trailer of them all. Sam, this dropped a few hours after the last podcast we recorded, and that was the full trailer for the Fantastic Four First Steps. I'm guessing you've at least seen this one. Looks pretty neato. What do we think of this trailer, Sam?
Sorry, I was responding to something. Okay. Let me pull. I did not see the mission. I did not see Fantastic Four.
You didn't watch the
actually.
Fantastic Four trailer, buddy? That was like your one job. That's like the one thing everyone did when it came out.
Well, I did not because I was busy.
It's like a minute long.
But I'm watching it now. I don't like the weird frame they put on the screen. That looks dumb.
Oh, like the 60s TV part?
The little like whir thing, because it's like the board. They clearly just stretched like a thing because like the border thing doesn't change. Anyway, I don't like that.
The
Anyway,
whole movie's not gonna be like that. We got our first look at the thing.
Herbie looks cool.
Herbie, yeah, we got the thing in motion. We got
I like the robot chalkboard. I like the space suits. I like the space. Space is cool.
Yeah, we got space race stuff. We got our first look at Human Torch, which I like that. I like that the lens flares when he's flamed on.
So are we skipping the origin story?
Yes, it looks like we're gonna have flashbacks to it, but we're skipping the origin story. Got Johnny Storm flying into space. We got weird space cloud shooting missiles. We got the Fantastic Car. We got John Malkovich looking like a very old man with a big white beard.
As he does. It's what he likes to do.
And then we got the back of Galactus's head at the end of the trailer, looking at the Statue of Liberty.
Galactus is too small.
Okay, that's an interesting take.
Galactus is a bigger guy.
Yes, but I think you have to make him small so he can fit in the frame. So
he's gonna eat the planet, though. So
he is gonna eat the planet. What do we think of the suits at the end of the trailer? We gotta look at their suits.
They look good. I like the suits. Those are good looking suits.
This
they look
looks
very Fantastic Four.
Interesting. There's a fan theory that Sue Storm is pregnant, and that she is supposed to be pregnant at the part at the beginning of the trailer when they're walking around in the kitchen. That people are saying that they think she's pregnant in this scene, but they've CGI'd it out. And you can kind of see why they would think that because of the way she's walking. Like, she's walking as if she's pregnant, but she's, like, not.
Mm.
So people are saying Franklin Richards' potential appearance, that he could play into the plot somehow. We know Silver Surfer's supposed to show up in this. We know Galactus is in this. We know that the Mole Men are rumored to appear.
The Mole Man?
The Mole Man, yep. But this looks interesting. Directed by Matt Shakman. Screenplay by 6 different people. Matt Shakman did WandaVision. He directed every episode of that, and he's a big TV guy. He's directed everything from It's Always Sunny to The Monarch Show to Welcome to Chippendales to Game of Thrones and everything in between. So, veteran TV director. This is his second feature. Looks solid.
Yeah, I mean, it looks solid.
I'm curious. You famously hate the Fantastic Four, Sam.
Yes, they are very, very.
You think they're dumb and
stupid.
bad. I'm
But this looks
less
cool.
negative. The only person...
I think that putting them in a period piece sort of helps them feel less silly and stupid.
Yeah, they're very, because like them as characters and like their whole origin and creation is very tied into the 60s and that time.
They
and
feel
the space
they
race.
feel very out of time, but I think by having them be from another time, you kind of can get around some of that.
Because the other thing about the Fantastic Four is, unlike the X-Men or the Avengers, they're scientists first, superheroes second. Like a lot of Fantastic Four comics are like pretty just science fiction oriented and less like running around in the streets in New York fighting criminals. So I think putting them in a period piece where you get all like the period technology and stuff like that, I think that could be cool. I'm cautiously optimistic about this. Still not sold completely on the cast, though. I like Vanessa Kirby. I like Ibn Baccarat. Pedro Pascal, still iffy on. I don't love the casting. And then Joseph Quinn, I'm still iffy on. I think those two are both like, who's a popular guy right now, and less like, who fits this role. I like Herbie, though. I want more Herbie. Give me more Herbie.
Herbie is cool.
Herbie's
I
my
don't
goat.
got no problems with Herbie.
Famously put in the Fantastic Four cartoon show from the 60s to replace Human Torch because they thought if he was on the TV, kids would light themselves on fire. It's a fun history lesson.
Why would they think that?
Because they were like, oh, if they see him flame it on and they think it's cool, they'll try to do it themselves and they'll light themselves on fire.
Okay. Okay. You know, I can't even. The Tide Pod challenge existed.
Anyway,
I can't even really be mad about that.
Then the last spot we got was for Mission Impossible, which it was all footage we've seen before, nothing new there. People in the room, very, they seem to be tired of these. I think it is time to wrap this up. I love these. I could watch these forever. But I think people are like, we're doing 8 Mission Impossible movies, and I think
most people don't even really know what it is. I think most people just have heard about it.
They've made money in the past, and they've been like decently popular. Like I think the highest grossing one did like 800 million worldwide, or like 700, something around there. They're great movies. A lot of fun. I mean, I'm looking forward to this next one. We both like Dead Reckoning.
Yeah, I mean, the last one I thought the last one was really fun. So I'm excited for this one. I'm ready to check it out. All right. What's Plankton the movie? What is this?
Oh, there was a trailer for the
this
Plankton
looks
movie.
horrible.
Oh, it does.
This looks really bad.
It's going direct to Netflix, Sam. You have nothing to say about
Doesn't
Fantastic
Paramount
Four
own
or
SpongeBob?
Jurassic World, but you're like, let me watch this Plankton trailer.
I watched all of them as we were talking about it. But why is it on Netflix and why does it look like this?
Because it was probably made for like $8. And it's on Netflix because Paramount could make money by selling it to Netflix. Remember the Sandy
Yeah, this
Cheeks
looks really
movie
bad.
was
I'm not gonna finish this one.
No, you don't have
What's
to.
the other one?
And then the other trailer was for
Hurry Up Tomorrow. What
Hurry
is
Up
this?
Tomorrow, which is the new film by The Weeknd. Musical artist The Weeknd. This is his...
and Jenna Ortega's here.
Jenna Ortega's in it. Barry Keoghan is in it. This is his acting follow-up to the Idol TV show. This is a tie-in to his album, which just came out. So it looks...
Does he play like a creepy sex cult guy again?
I think he plays a pop star.
Oh,
AKA
so he knows how to do that
he's
one.
playing himself, I'm pretty sure, basically. Hurry Up Tomorrow premise. An insomniac musician encounters a mysterious stranger leading to a journey that challenges everything he knows about himself. That sounds like The Idol. I think that's the same premise as The Idol. A famously bad TV show.
Yeah. I don't like The Idol. And I think I'm the only one who watched all of it.
Directed by Trey Edward Schultz, What else have you done, sir?
Remember when she's like, my mom used to beat me with this hairbrush, and then Tedros goes, then I will beat you with this hairbrush.
He did. It comes at night.
And then at the end of the movie, she goes, actually, I lied and made that up. And he's like, why? And she goes, I don't know.
You think people will show up for The Weeknd and Jenna Ortega team up to do a thriller or something? People love The Weeknd, I think. People love...
Yeah, his tickets sell for really high prices.
Yeah, they love Jenna Ortega. Wednesday season
That's
2
true.
supposed to be this year. They don't love Barry Keoghan, but he's a good actor. Could be something, maybe. I don't know. Movies can be good, potentially.
Any movie can be good. That's
Any
true.
movie can be good. All right, well, that's all of the Super Bowl and non-Super Bowl related trailers. Exciting year for movies, Sam. What a lot to look forward to.
We got a all-star lineup.
Lineup.
What a bunch.
Jurassic World, Fantastic Four.
What didn't Sinners have a trailer too?
It did, but we talked about it last week. It wasn't.
Right, it already came out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway,
I don't really care about. I'll probably see Thunderbolts. I'll see How to Train Your Dragon. I'll see Fantastic
I will
Four.
only
I'll see
make
Mission
you
Impossible.
watch all of these.
I don't really care about Jurassic World, but I've seen, I think, literally all of them, so I'll see this one.
I think I will make you watch Smurfs. I think we'll have fun.
I think that one is the easiest skip on the list, actually.
I mean, I'll see all of these because I have a problem.
I'm not going to watch Novocaine. I don't care
I will see
at
Novocaine.
all about Novocaine, unless it's really good, and then maybe I'll see it.
Jack Quaid was just in Companion, which was really good.
I'll have to watch it. Is that on streaming yet, or is that
No.
still in theaters?
It's tanking pretty hard though, so it'll probably be on there soon.
I'll watch it when it's on HBO Prime Video,
Yeah.
Peacock, Paramount Max.
People
Plus.
people like you are the reason it's losing a lot of money. Anyway, that's all the news I have, Sam, unless you have something you want to talk about desperately.
Just some Invincible.
Yeah, did you watch the new season?
When
First three
you
episodes out?
edit this episode, when we say that, you need to put the Invincible logo.
Okay, I'm going to edit this right after we finish recording it, and it's 1:30 in the morning, so I doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah, so we'll say we need to talk about Invincible, and then that's where you'll put it.
Okay, anyway, did you
And
watch
do it for every time I said Invincible.
that is
every time I
absolutely-
say
no.
Invincible, you have to
I
put
hate
another
you.
one.
I hate you. Did you watch it?
Yeah, me and Nick watched all 3 episodes.
What did you think?
I think it's pretty cool so far. The discourse around Mark versus Cecil, I think is kind of silly. I think Cecil's just kind of obviously correct.
Yeah, I get their conflict. I think it's a little... I don't know if it was like established. Not that it wasn't established. I don't necessarily like how that scene was written. Like Mark just kind of shows up acting like a baby, and then they get it escalates very quickly for no particular reason, and it kind of blows up their whole dynamic. And it has kind of been something that has been boiling for like the past 2 seasons with Mark and Cecil.
Yeah,
I
like
just think-
Cecil's always been kind of a sketchy kid. We always knew he's doing sketchy stuff, but like
you get
also,
why he's doing sketchy stuff.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Like,
And nothing he's doing is honestly, is any of it even really questionable? Like,
Yeah.
okay, working with Sinclair, bad, but that's big. But like, that's because Sinclair was abducting people. Like these people are like, according to Cecil,
says
now
they're
we don't know if
donated
that's true
corpses.
necessarily, but he said they donated their bodies, so like, that's fine. Who was the other one that he worked with?
he was
that Mark
upset
didn't like?
with Darkwing too, or whatever.
Darkwing.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, that guy killed some dudes,
But
but,
he's
like
been-
he was clearly
he's very clearly been
Clearly he was
psychologically
going through some
pre-programmed.
yeah.
And,
And,
then
like also
he got mad because he put
Omni Man exists
he
and
put
like
a-
Mark is dealing
Yeah.
with like that. So like you're still hanging with your dad. So
And then he's also upset because Cecil put a bug in his brain that makes a loud noise, and it hurts.
Yeah, which okay, that one's a little less justifiable, but I can understand why Cecil would do that.
Yeah, you'd get that.
I don't
Your
think you
dad
should
just
do
killed the
that,
entire city of
but
Chicago.
I totally get why he did that.
Yeah. But I mean, I get it. You need it to happen for the plot, and it's a pretty cool scene. But I just didn't like visual like the.
Also, the animation is still, guys.
It's passable.
Guys.
It's not.
Is it though? Is it better than
Okay.
Harley Quinn show on HBO Max? I don't think so.
It should be better. There's no excuse for why
it
it
has
shouldn't.
no excuse.
It couldn't be better. Honestly, at this point, I'm used to it. It doesn't really take me out.
Like the schlockiest, sleaziest, bottom of the barrel harem isekai anime that just started airing a week ago. And I can promise you, with 99% certainty, that it has better animation. And was made by a company that is a billionth of a tenth of the size of Amazon.
They just spend all of their money on the voice cast. They just don't have anything left over for the animation.
But we know you can make shows with voice cast and animation. It's happened before.
But we spent all of our money on getting Simu Liu to voice Multipal for like 2 lines.
Yeah, also, maybe we don't need to do that. Maybe we can...
just get a guy.
Maybe we can just get a guy.
guy.
It doesn't have to be the most famous... It's like every single guy in Invincible is played by whatever the most famous actor that is that thing.
Yeah.
Like, we have, like, weird stonery vibe, fun alien guy, and so he's played by, like, the weird stonery fun guy.
Which makes sense, because he's also a producer on the show, but still.
Yeah, but, like, every guy is played by the most that thing guy that there is.
Like, maybe we don't need... I don't know. Like Tatiana Maslany to voice like a random character who has like 2 lines in one random episode. Like,
and then now if you ever need that character back, you have to go like,
get
this
them.
A-list celebrity.
Which is also like they cast like Jonathan Banks and Aaron Paul in like the new season in like one-off roles.
Yeah,
like,
we haven't even seen their characters yet.
We haven't even seen who they are yet. But like, come on, guys. Just get a dude. Just get a random guy. Anyway. It's still a good show, though.
Yeah,
it's still very good.
It's
chugging.
It's still fire.
It's in the chugging phase.
I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I've been watching Severance. I've been watching Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is fine. It's pretty okay. I've been watching Mythic Quest, which is as mid as ever.
It is. Something I'm watching.
I don't know why they took 3 years to make 10 episodes of a half-hour sitcom, but
I don't like Ocean. Ocean's weird.
Who's Ocean?
Is his name Ocean?
Who?
The main girl's boyfriend. He's weird. I don't like him.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember his name. I feel
that
like
guy's weird.
He's got to be a creep or something. Like, that's going to be a twist, right?
I mean, obviously she's going to eventually realize that she has a thing for Ian, and then they'll break up. But like, it's weird. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Real just show that's spinning its wheels at this point. It's not really going anywhere. None of the characters are doing anything really all that interesting at this point.
The jokes are still funny. It's just like these characters are just not doing much.
It's gonna get canceled. This is its last season for sure.
Yeah,
Viewership
and then
is low.
Yeah, I'm watching Severance, but I like just started last night, so I haven't really got very far.
And then I've been seeing movies. I didn't review them because I just didn't have time and they're not worth it. But I saw Love Hurts.
Oh, Kilo said your companion review is really good. She went and saw it.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I saw Love Hurts with Ke-Huy Quan. It's terrible.
I want to see that.
It's awful.
Oh, never mind. That sucks.
Like real bad. Worst movie I've seen this year. And then
wait, why is this so bad? I want to see him do
fun
fun martial arts.
The martial arts stuff is fine. There's no story at all. There's just nothing. And
it's like it's another movie that's just worse John Wick.
Oh, and it looks like a car commercial, and all of the characterization and backstory is just through voiceover. There's like 5
That's
different times
lame.
when a character just slow motion stares at someone while doing voiceover about like their relationship and how they feel about them. It's real bad.
Ooh.
And then I saw
Sucky
Hard
and
Eyes.
lame.
Hard Eyes was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I saw Moist Critical posted his review, I think, yesterday, and he said it was pretty good. But
Yeah, Hard Eyes is fun.
I don't know if I want to see Scream,
No, you don't have
so
to,
I
but it's
think
fun.
I'm good.
And then Captain America comes out this week, Sam. Looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
You know it's going to be good because the review embargo
I can finally
drops the
use my
morning
movie
of.
credits. I've had so many movie credits saved up. I'm going to use it. And I have
We could see Paddington in Peru also.
4 Cinemark gift cards I haven't used yet.
He's been saving them all for You're going to see Captain America Brave New World.
This one I
7
used a little
times.
bit of when we saw
What did
some
we
of the
see?
movies.
Some movie. I don't even remember.
Wicked and Moana
Probably, like,
and a third
I don't
one that
even
was... Oh, we saw Craven.
Right.
That was the other one.
That's a movie.
I don't think I've seen a movie since Craven. That's
No, you have.
not good.
You saw A Complete
I
Unknown.
think so.
You saw...
Oh, wait, was that after Craven?
You saw Nosferatu.
That was... Did we saw...
Those were both after
Complete Unknown
Craven.
after Nosferatu.
Yeah, that was the day after.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I can check. I think we saw one other thing. Or I did. I don't know if you did. A Complete Unknown might have been the last.
I think the last thing I saw... It was either Complete Unknown or Nosferatu, whichever one we saw last.
Let's see. Oh no,
I think it was Complete
no,
Unknown. Because
Sam,
I think...
the last thing you saw was Mufasa the Lion King.
Oh, no, I didn't see that movie. That's not a real movie. That movie's not... I've never heard of a movie by that name.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
is
'cause-
no movie called Mufasa the Lion King.
Anyway, looking forward to that, I guess. But that's about it.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
all
I
we
think
got?
I think that's it for today.
Yep.
Isn't there another show that came out or is supposed to come out soon? I thought.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not. All right. Well, that's all for today then.
Yep. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Have a good one. Bye.